Hey guys, welcome back to another Final Fantasy 16 video, and this is the Rising Tides DLC, and it's the trophy for the End Can Wait, which is completing all the missions in Mysidia. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yes, the End Can Wait. So I'm here at Haven. And you can see there's plenty of side quests. There is 10 to be done in total, so we're going to make a start. So we're going to start with this first one here.
Where in the... Oh, I'll have her hide when she gets back. Oh, sorry. I was leagues away. How can I help you? If you're after something from the storehouse, it's actually my wife you'll want to talk to. She will have to charge you for the goods, though. Not that we'd fleece you or anything. It's just, you know, needs must.
I understand.
Saying that, she might not be able to get anything down for you for a bit.
Ah, right.
She's got her hands full with the inventory, you see. It should have been my daughter's job, really, but the willful little Rills decided to make herself scarce. The heavens only know where that girl's got to.
If you'd like me to keep an eye out for her.
Oh, no. I couldn't ask that of an outsider. Could I? You wouldn't mind?
Of course not. She won't have gone far, will she?
I hope not. But I've scoured the entire village for her and come up empty-handed. Can't help thinking she might have gone on another one of her little adventures.
Ah, a free spirit is she?
Aye, that she is. Can't get her to sit still, especially once she heard you lot were on your way. Outsiders! You should have seen her little eyes light up. Oh, if she wanted to watch you arrive, she'd have made for the low gate where you first came in. The guard there might have spotted her. Maybe you could ask him. Ruka, her name is.
All right. I'll let you know if I find her. Try not to worry.
Okay, so we're going to go and speak to the guard first.
Excuse me. You haven't seen the storekeeper's daughter, have you?
Little Ruka? I have, as it happens. She went out through the gate not long ago.
Out of the village? Alone?
Aye, she does it all the time. There's a path off to the left which leads down to the river. Nice little spot, that. It's safe as you like. The beasts of the mountain don't dare come so close to the village. That's where she'll be. Go and have a look if you don't believe me.
I will.
Okay, so we're going to head down to here.
They're not here either. It's you! I've been looking everywhere for you.
You must be Ruka.
You know my name? Can you lot read minds?
Your father asked me to keep an eye out for you. You left without telling him where you were going. He was worried.
But I went to look for you.
Well, now you found me. What do you say we head back to the village and let your father know you're safe?
All right. And on the way home, you can tell me all about the world beyond the wall. I want to know everything.
Everything might be a stretch.
Thank you for bringing her home. And sorry for the trouble.
Oh, no. It was a pleasure.
Daddy, Did you know that there are villages 10 times as big as Haven in the outside world? 10 times! Cities, they call them. And in these cities, they have great big walls and towers and castles.
Oh, to think I was worried. You can tell me all about the outside world later, Sweet Pea. Now go and help your mum with the stores.
All right.
Thanks for putting up with her questions. She, has a lot of them. One of the big ones being, what are the people beyond the wall like? Reckon you've made a good first impression.
Are we the only one she's ever met?
That you are. The rest of the world can't know we're here, so we'll have to be very careful who we're letting in and out. A few of us might make the occasional trip to shore for supplies, but for the most part, we'll make do with what we've got, including what the old Northerners left us.
Yes. You built on top of the old ruins, didn't you?
Well, they're made for fine foundations. Their masons clearly knew what they were doing. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. Oh, it's everything else that's the problem. Medicines, metals for tool making, anything like that. We have to dress up as traveling merchants and make a trip to the outside and pray to every cloud in the heavens that nobody sees through us.
Which explains why you need Gil.
Aye. And now Ruka's back, my wife should be free to assist you with any potential purchases. So please, do make good use of our stores, because we fully intend to make good use of your coin.
I'll be sure to keep my purse strings loose.
Okay, so that's the first mission done, and it's worth 3.2 million experience points. Awesome. Okay, so the second mission I'm going to do is It's the Thought That Counts.
You are Sid, aren't you? The man the tributary told us about? I wonder if you could help me.
With what exactly?
Oh, nothing too troublesome. Do you know my husband, Pavat? He's the village smith, among other things. Anyway, his name day's not far off, and I wanted to make a gift for him. He's a craftsman, you see, and he's been fretting about running low on the flowers he uses for dye making, so I wondered if you might collect some for me and give them to him.
Would this gift not be better coming from you?
Perhaps, but it can't, for reasons I can't go into. Please, I know it sounds daft, but I'd be ever so grateful.
Fine. Which flowers does your husband need?
The sweet little blue ones that grow around the fount. Elder's blessings, they're called. We use them to dye our fabrics so we always feel close to water like they are. You don't need to go to the trouble of picking them yourself, though. Just speak to the field hands and ask them to share their harvest with you. 2 basketfuls should be enough for my husband to be getting on with.
2 basketfuls it is.
Okay, and this lady couldn't have collected them herself for what reason?
It is good to have them back.
Excuse me. I wonder, might you be able to spare a basket of Elder's blessings? Pavart's wife tasked me with collecting some for her husband, and suggested that I speak to you.
Ah, Werda wants you to bless her better half with the fruits of our labour, does she? Go on then. Give the old fool something to squirm about.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't worry about it. An old fool Pavart may be, but if you come bearing gifts, he's not fool enough to turn you away.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
Okay, seems a bit of an odd mission.
Ah, welcome to Haven, friend.
Thank you. Forgive my presumptuousness, but the smith's wife has asked me to make her husband a present of some elder's blessings. 2 basketfuls, to be precise.
Well, I have one, if that's any help.
It is. I'm much obliged. They really are beautiful.
Aren't they just? Though that's not the only reason they have a special place in our hearts. Legend has it that when our people fled from Ash, the tributary of the time took some seeds with them. And as they wandered high and low across the Twins, he'd plant them wherever they stopped for water. Every elder since has done the same. So when we finally put down roots here in Mysidia, the flowers did too.
Well, that's 2 basketfuls.
Awesome. Right. Just complete the mission. Okay, so you can quick travel.
Time to visit Pavart.
Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. I do like that.
What do you want?
Your wife asked me to bring you these flowers.
That woman. Come out. I know you're there.
Who? Me?
Would either of you care to explain what's going on?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deceive you. It's just, my husband can be a bit standoffish at times, and I thought this might be a good way for the 2 of you to get acquainted. What with you being a swordsman like, and him being the only smith in the village. It'd be a shame if you couldn't turn to him for help.
The only reason he couldn't turn to me for help is because I had my hands full with all the orders you lot dumped on me. I'm pretty much done with them now, though. But, for the record, the tributary said that we were to lend you outsiders our aid, and that's exactly what I was planning to do. With or without my darling wife's meddling. Still, here we are. Acquainted. So, if there's out you need, just bring us the materials, alright?
All right.
Alright then. And tar for the flowers. I was running low.
You use them for dyeing, I hear.
Aye. Crush the petals and it makes a fine and lasting blue. We use it to stain the cloth for our tunics and pennons. Remind us where we come from, like.
As modes of water. Children of the sea.
That's right. The pattern too was left by our ancestors. The Ceaseless Rill, it's called. It symbolizes the river of our tribe, with the strength of Leviathan running through it. And no matter how that river has ebbed and flowed, changed its course, the flowers have always been with us, growing on our banks. I should get back to work. If you need something crafting, let me know.
I will. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Wasn't it just?
Okay, that's the next mission done, and a cheeky level up, another 3 million experience points, and a reflection of the earth. Very nice. So the third mission I'm going to do here is what ails you?
Get yourself worked up again. Just try to breathe. That's it.
Is everything all right?
Ah, you're the outsider. I'm Fannet, healer by trade. And this is Talor, one of my patients. He took ill not long after you arrived.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
I hope so too,
But
this affliction, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. He complains of feeling chilled to the bone, but there's no fever to go with it. And my most powerful antalgic hasn't done a thing to ease the pain in his chest. I'm starting to wonder if his condition might require a different kind of treatment altogether. Shula said that you were here to help us. You couldn't help me, could you?
I'd be happy to. If I can.
You can, don't worry. All I need you to do is speak to Talor's son, Pavat, over at the forge, and ask if he knows what his father was up to before he came down sick. Something must have caused this, and I want to find out what. The trouble is, Talor's too weak to speak, and I can't leave his side for long. So while you talk to Pavat, I'll pay his wife word a quick visit, just in case she knows anything.
All right.
Okay, so we'll go and speak back to this dude.
Oh, do you need something?
I do, though not from the forge. Fannet asked me to speak with you. She's looking into the cause of your father's illness and wondered if you could shed any light on the matter.
I see. Sorry. She shouldn't have dragged you into this.
It's no trouble, really. Tell me, did your father do anything out of the ordinary before he fell ill?
Not that I know of. But then I hardly see him. He's always out and about, like. Well, at least he was. Suppose he might have been a bit more fidgety than usual, but apart from that...
When you say out and about, where does he usually go?
Just round the village. Wanders over to Blazia's place most days. He's a fisher who lives on the other side of the fount. They're old friends. Maybe he knows something I don't.
Maybe. I'll go and speak with him.
So something I've not really been massively keen on in 16 is the fact it's mainly fetch quests and speaking quests. They're not exactly the most exciting.
Greetings, stranger. What can I do for you?
Your name is Blazir, is it not? Pavat tells me you're a friend of his father's, and that the two of you may have spent some time together prior to his illness.
His illness? Talor's never been ill a day in his life. I don't know why he'd start now.
Oh, Fanny doesn't know either. It was she who asked me to look into his recent behavior on the off chance it might explain how his condition arose.
Oh, I suppose there was something that struck me as a bit odd. He kept asking about the woods. Did you see anything strange on your way back from the shore? Are you certain? Do you swear? That kind of thing. I didn't, of course. But he wouldn't let it go. It was like he was expecting something to happen. It was just a matter of when. Not that I know what, but he never told me anyway.
Well, that certainly does sound unusual. And it might just be what Fannet is looking for. Thank you.
I don't mention it. Oh, and when you see Talor, wish him the best from me, eh?
Let's see what the healer makes of this.
I spoke with Werder, but she couldn't tell me anything. Did you have any better luck?
Nothing conclusive. But there was one thing. Lazir, the fisherman, told me that Talor had taken a sudden interest in the forest of late. He kept asking him if he'd seen anything unusual there on his way back from the coast, but never let on what exactly he was expecting him to have seen.
The forest between here and the coast. Surely not. But then... I can't say for sure. But I think Talor's illness might have some connection to the Tomberries. You may have encountered them during your time here. The small, scaly beastmen.
And you think they may have caused Talor's illness?
I do. At least in a way. And if I'm right, it's no wonder the treatments I've been trying didn't work. Oh, I know it's a lot to ask, but would you go down into Father's Fell for me? There's an altar there. And if my fears are true, an offering upon it.
What is going on here?
Please. I'll explain everything when you return, but time flows fast. I beg you, make haste for Father's Fell and take the offering from the altar. Talor's life may depend on it.
Very well.
Well, that sounds a little bit drastic. So we're going to head to here. Oh look, it's some Tomberries. We're going to have a fight.
What are they up to?
The Tomberries look so weird
Some
in this
sort
game.
of ritual.
They just randomly carry knives.
Sorry to disturb you.
Oh, well, let's get this out of the way. Okay, that was not exactly very hard.
Let's see what's on this altar then. A silver chain. I doubt the Tomberries made it. This must be what Fennet was talking about.
Oh, I was hoping it would, oh, there we go. Fast travel.
You're back. Well, did you find anything?
I did. This silver chain.
I knew it.
Well, I'm still none the wiser.
Forgive me. This chain. It's a Gregorian Maternoster.
Worn by men of the faith. What's it doing here? And why would the Tomberries be praying to it?
To understand that, you need to understand what the Tomberries are. They feed on hatred and suffering. And some say that if you render them an offering, some token of grievance against your fellow man, they will put a curse upon him.
So you think someone's put a Tomberry curse on Talor?
I can't say for sure. Truth be told, I always assumed it was an old wives' tale. But given his fear of the forest and the presence of the chain on the altar, I don't know what else to think.
Does Talor have any enemies in the village? Anyone who would nurse such a grudge?
No, I believe the one who left the chain at the altar was Talor himself.
I beg your pardon.
But there's more to the tale, you see. It's said that if you attempt to curse a soul that has returned to the sea already, your ire has nowhere to go but back to its source.
You're saying he cursed himself?
In trying to curse another, aye.
When my father was younger, he was one of the few permitted to venture beyond the wall on trading expeditions. He told us that when he journeyed to Sanbreque, he'd wear that chain to disguise his true beliefs, lest Griega's faithful turn their cudgels on him.
Did they ever catch him in his deception? Might that explain the ill will he bears someone?
Not that he ever told me.
Come now, let's not waste time speculating about Talor's past. We need to focus on the present, and that means finding a way to break the curse.
All right. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
Thank you. I shall.
Aye, and thanks for going to all this trouble. Here, it's not much, but I want you to have this. We call it an adder stone. It's a gatherer's charm. Reacts to certain rare minerals we use in crafting. Makes them ring out like a bell. Stuff you'd have no chance of spotting otherwise. If you find anything, see that you bring it back to me. I can make you some decent gear with it. If you're interested, like.
I am, thank you. And I'll be sure to pay you a visit. Until then, I wish your father a swift recovery.
Okay, so that's what ails you is done. And we've got a new serpent ring design. Cool. Okay, so the next mission we're going to be doing is Bird of Passage, which is just here, towards the top end of Haven.
Are you a rider by any chance?
I am. What gave me away?
Oh, I can smell it on you. The scent of the stables. And not just any stables.
Something tells me
You've never been one to ride half-starved birds with chine-gall and wet beak. If I had a guess, I'd say your bird eats only the finest greens and has her feathers groomed twice a day with a curl hairbrush.
Nothing but the best for my ambrosia.
Ambrosia, eh? Pretty name. What's she like?
Well, she's tall and strong. And her feathers are as white as snow.
You're joking. You've got a white chocobo.
I have, yes. I suppose they are rather rare.
This I've got to see. Can you bring her here?
I would if I could, but I doubt Shula's skiff could hold her.
Me dad's got a boat.
And he's ferried chocobos before. You could get him to bring her.
It'll be perfect timing and all. He's preparing for a trip beyond the wall as we speak. I'm sure he'd help you if you asked.
You would? Well, I don't suppose it would hurt to have Ambrosia around. All right then. Where could I find your father?
He'll be in the storehouse on the other side of the brook. Tell him Manda sent you.
Okay, so we're going to bring Ambrosia over to the village.
You one of the outsiders, then?
I am. Shula invited me. Are you Manda's father?
I am. Got you running errands for her already, has she?
She's asked to see my chocobo, but I'd need your help and your boat to bring her here.
Or you could just say no. Honestly, that girl and her birds, she'll be growing feathers soon enough.
Well, truth be told, I didn't take the idea seriously at first. But thinking about it, it would make it easier to get around if I had Ambrosia here. Can you help?
Well, if you're sure that's what you want. The tributary says we're to treat you lot as we would each other. So, if you need me to ferry your bird over, then that's what I'll do. Still, they don't take the water easily. I'll need you to bring us a mimic gourd or two to keep her calm on the journey over.
And where would I find one of those?
Oh, don't ask me. It's been years since I last brought a chocobo across the bay, and I'm told the world's changed a fair bit since then. Where do you usually get your stable supplies from?
Well, the man who made Ambrosia's tack lived in Martha's Rest, and if I remember correctly, he traded in chocobo feed too. So I suppose I'll go and ask him.
I'll be sailing over to Northreach soon to pick up some supplies. While I do that, you collect your bird and your gourd, and then meet me by the shore. Just don't take too long, all right?
Okay, so for this one we need to return to Martha's Rest. So let's go.
We've got a few rooms going spare now. You want a bed for the night? Speak to Martha.
I remember you. You're the one who saved Whiteheart. How's the old girl doing?
She's very well. Thank you.
Oh, don't thank me. You're the one who saved her. Anyway, what brings you to the Rest today?
I was hoping to purchase a mimit gourd. And I thought you might be able to tell me where I could find one.
Oh, reckon I could do better than that. Just so happens, I've got a whole carload of the blasted things. Not a buyer in sight.
Really?
Aye, you'd be doing me a favor taking a few off my hands before they turn to mush. But just be on the lookout for wild birds, eh? Don't want them chasing after you like they did me.
I will. And thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Any friend of Whiteheart is a friend of mine. And in times like these, friends have got to stick together.
We certainly do. Northreach, then. Wouldn't want to keep Manda's father waiting.
Okay, so on to Northreach. I'm so glad this game has fast travel. So we're going to head back to here.
Ah, there you are. And this must be Ambrosia, was it? Oh, she's a real beauty, isn't she?
I have the mimic or two. Here.
Thank you kindly. Soon as she's gobbled this up, we'll set sail.
We're going to take a little trip across the bay now, Ambrosia. Don't worry. You'll be all right. Well, we made it.
You did and all? She is as white as snow. You're beautiful, aren't you, girl?
Brave, too. She was calm as you like on the journey over. The mimic gourd will have played its part, of course, but passing through the walls enough to spook most birds even then. Not this one, though.
Ambrosia's been through a lot. I doubt there's much that could unnerve her now.
Not with a beloved master by her side.
No. It's you who looks after me, isn't it, girl?
Anyway, thanks for bringing her here. I hope I can breed a bird like her someday.
And if you and Ambrosia need ferrying back to Northreach, you only need say the word.
Thank you. But I think we might explore Mysidia together. What do you say, Ambrosia?
Okay, so we now have Ambrosia here, which makes travelling a little bit quicker. Awesome. So our next mission will be this one here, which is Rolls of Honor.
Ty, take me, what am I gonna do?
You've got to help me. Shula said you were a force to be reckoned with. Are you?
Why do you ask?
Eh? Oh, sorry. I should explain. My name's Kitav. I'm worried about a friend of mine. He went into the forest and he hasn't come back. Would you help me find him?
I can try. Tell me what I need to know.
Of course. You know about the glamour our ancestors cast to keep this place hidden, right?
Shula told us about it, yes.
Right. So you know the cairns we use to maintain the spell? Well, it's me and my friend's job to maintain them. If it weren't for the likes of us, it would have faded years ago.
So your friend went into the forest to visit one of these cairns?
Aye, that's right. He said he was going down to Father's Fell. There are two cairns out that way, one by the banks of the Swift Run, and another near the Winged Wains, the, ships in the forest.
All right. How will I know this friend of yours?
His name's Nassef. He's about my height, but clean-shaven. If you could track him down and see that he's come to no harm, I'd be much obliged. I'll search the village, just in case anyone's seen him, and meet you back here.
Very well.
Okay, so we're going to go here and here.
One cairn by the ships, another by the river. Better get moving. Well, here's the cairn. But no sign of Nassef. To the riverbank, then. Who have we here? I'm looking for a man named Nassef.
Aye, I know him. Takes care of the cans. Wait, you didn't think I was him, did you? Sorry, mate, I'm just out to gym myself a few ibexes. What do you want with the lad, anyway?
His friend, Katav, asked me to look for him. Apparently he ventured out to work on one of these cairns and didn't return.
Well, that is a worry.
You're a hunter, yes? You must know the woods as well as anyone. Can you think where he might have gone?
There's a bridge further down the path. Blasted thing got washed away a few moons back. Our carpenter only recently had time to rebuild it. But if I remember rightly, there is another cairn on the far side. Maybe he decided to visit that one while he was here.
Maybe. It's worth a look, certainly. Thank you.
Don't mention it. I'll keep an eye out too. Perhaps he just got delayed or something.
Let's hope so.
Okay, so we're going to go and explore this area.
This must be the bridge the hunter was talking about.
Hold on!
Now, I presume this is where we need to go. So we're just going to start straight with just blasting the hell out of them. There's always one that has to evade your attacks. Oof, that was doing some serious damage there. Lovely jubbly.
Oh, thank you.
I'm the tributary's guest. And you must be Nassef.
I am? But how do you know that?
Your friend Katav asked me to look for you when you didn't return.
I'm sorry. I was so focused on attuning the cairn I didn't see those creatures coming till it was too late.
How exactly do they work?
Oh, that there are crystals inside. They're what keeps the glamour going. Should the ether cease to flow through too many of them, our shroud would quickly unravel. It's my job to make sure that doesn't happen.
And an important job it is. But you'll struggle to do it if you're dead. You need to take more care.
Yeah, no arguments there. The truth is, me and Katav usually work together, watching each other's backs like. But when we heard outsiders were coming, we split up to get the job done faster, so things would be perfect for your arrival. Stupid, I know.
So you found him then?
Not before the local fauna did. My arrival seemed to put them off their dinner.
Mustn't have been hungry after all. Expect you'll be wanting someone to escort you back to the village then, Nasef. Woods are full of nasties today.
When you're next in Haven, be sure to come and see us. You saved my life. It's only right I repay you.
If you insist. Take care now.
I thought I'd lost you.
But you saw to it that I...
Thank you. Nasef told me everything. If you hadn't got there when you did...
Oh, it doesn't bear thinking about.
All that matters is that you're safe. Far be it from me to tell you how to do your jobs, but don't go alone again.
Or if we have to, maybe we should think about casting the glamour on ourselves to keep the wildlife from spotting us. It'd take its toll, of course, but it'd beat letting the cairns fall and having to weave the entire spell from scratch. Imagine if we had to do that.
I'd rather not. We'd only succeed in adding 2 new piles of stone to the collection.
Your bearers?
That we are, thank the tides. The others can't attune to the crystals in the cairns the same way we can. I reckon this place would be doomed without us.
So, you do this work for the good of your people? Not because...
We're forced to. No. From what I've heard of the way things work on the outside, we were truly blessed that our rain fell here in Mysidia. Our people are few enough as it is. If we started turning on each other, kin against kin, over nothing but a stupid accident of birth, our days would be numbered.
They would.
Anyway, all's well that ends well, eh? Thanks to you, both of us lived to keep this place hidden another day.
And that is another quest complete and 4.1 million experience points. These points are incredible. And we have ranked up to 103. Okay, so the next mission we're going to take on is Beyond the Grave.
My lord, might I have a moment of your time? I would beg of you a service.
Certainly. What is it?
It's a long story. But before we get to that, would I be right in thinking Lady Shula told you about the witch from the north?
Yes. She said that your ancestors found her here, and that it was she who taught them the spell to stop time. She was like Walius, you know. A dominant. The Warden of Ice.
My great-grandmother suspected as much. She cared for the poor woman when the end was near. And it was she whose duty became to attend her grave. A duty that was passed down to me.
I see. And the service you would beg of me?
Well, until recently, the path to the grave had long been blocked by a fallen tree. But when our woodsmen finally found time to move it, we quickly realized it might have been better had they not.
On trying to clear the rest of the path, you see, we discovered that a flock of bloodthirsty beasts had claimed the cliffs beyond. None of us was a match for them. But you, my lord, have proven your strength many times over. Would you drive them away for us?
Of course. I'll see the path is made safe.
Thank you, my lord. The grave is in a place called Witch Drop. To reach it, one must turn left at the Winged Wains, then follow the path around to the right, deep into the forest.
Why so far from Haven?
It was where she lived. When our ancestors first came to Mysidia, they found her there, in an old abandoned village, and it was her heartfelt wish to return there in death. So when she passed away, my great-grandmother had a stone erected for her on the cliffs overlooking the place she once called home.
How thoughtful. Well then, no time like the present. Left at the ships, then round to the right, you said.
Just so. Thank you once again, my lord. I will join you at the grave anon.
Okay, so for this one, we're going to go this way to Witch Drop. Okay, so we're going to do some fights on our way down to it. Yeah, I'm not going to fight one of these blob things again.
Rigging.
Bloody blob things there. They've just got loads of health, and I can't be bothered with it. Okay, so let's see what we've got going on here. I think these are going to be too much of a problem. It's a griffin. The hardest thing about this whole DLC has been the Leviathan fight. If I'm honest, nothing else has been too much of a problem. Attacking the wrong thing there. It's nice and easy just to bombard it with literally everything you have. And we are almost done. There we go. Beautiful.
Looks like that's the last of them. Now, where's the grave? This must be it.
My lord, thank you for making the path safe again.
Ise. Was that her name?
Yes. Hardly the most fitting tribute for a dominant, is it? A rough-hewn stone with naught but a given name engraved on it. But my ancestors had only been here a matter of weeks when she passed. Every day was a struggle to survive. They had neither the time nor the energy to devote to a more elaborate memorial. Yet they spared what they could to grant her wish, that even in death she might continue to watch over her home.
She lived down there then? In the ruins?
That's right. They were once the living quarters for those who served up in the temple. When the Northern Thanes sent her here to weave her spell, this was where she and her retinue stayed. There were priests, handmaidens, and a knight sworn to shield her from harm. Of course, they were all gone by the time my ancestors arrived, fled or dead in the Western Wars.
All except Ise, who remained till the end. Alone.
Indeed. At least, that is the story as it's been handed down in Haven. But there is an epilogue to the tale. One known only to Lady Shula and myself. Some years after Ise's passing, you see, my grandmother came here to tend the grave, and found a stranger kneeling before it. A knight, dressed head to toe in plate. She asked of him who he was and whence he had come, but received no answer. The only words he spoke were, "Tell me true, whose grave is this?" So she told him of how her people had met and cared for Ise, and how she had died. His only reaction was to stare up at the air of hours in silence. Then he left, never to be seen again.
You said he was wearing plate. Was it black and gold?
Do you know something of him?
When we went up to the Air of Hours to unravel the spell, we were set upon by a shade in the shape of a knight in full plate. It manifested in front of the Vare, and in its ether, I felt Shiva, the witch.
You think this may have been the same man my great-grandmother met? Ise's knight?
I don't know. Maybe. All I can say for sure is it was intent on protecting her creation.
Or perhaps her spirit? What remained of her ether, preserved in the Vare? Perhaps his spirit too became enraveled in her spell, frozen in an eternal vigil.
Till we ended it.
If the shade you fought was Ise's knight, then ending it was the greatest gift you could have given him. Now he can return to the sea, to be with his lady once more. And if his spirit should ever return here to visit her grave, I shall ask his name, that I might carve it in the stone next to hers.
That they might be together. once and for all.
Okay, so that is another mission complete. So the next one is called The Uninvited Guest.
There is a matter with which I would beg your aid.
Of course, what is it?
Please, not so loud.
Something serious then?
Yes. I think we might have company. I was passing by the low gate when I saw a figure moving among the trees up on the cloak. At first I thought it must have been you or your brother, so I didn't say anything, but the more I think about it, the more certain I am that the figure looked familiar.
And you're sure it wasn't one of the other villagers?
Positive. I think it was someone from outside the wall who has found his way inside. Of course, it could just be my imagination playing tricks on me. I only caught a fleeting glimpse, and it might have been you or your brother. But if it is who I think it is, we cannot allow him to leave now that he knows we're here. Would you go and see? He won't try to hurt you, believe me. Given what lurks in the forest, the only one likely to get hurt is him.
Very well. Whether the man you saw is who you believe him to be or not, we need to know. It may yet be someone else entirely. Someone who means your people, or my people, harm.
Perhaps. Just promise me that if you do find someone up there...
Don't worry. I won't draw my sword unless I need to.
Thank you.
I would. Okay, so we are going to head to this area for this one. So some of you with a keen eye may have noticed I am using the Buster Sword. Of course it was given out in the previous DLC. But I've got it with the settings of the Omega Sword.
A bottle. Breath of the Arbor. Perfume from Sunbrag. Looks expensive too.
Who's there? Stop!
Oh dear. Yeah, so the sword that you got for beating a mega weapon, it has the same stats, and it's basically just a cloaking,
I'm coming!
and anyone can do it.
Don't eat me! I'll give you that rod, I swear!
Stand back. I'll handle this.
Okay.
Are you all right?
I'm more than all right. I'm saved! Oh, I could kiss you!
Maybe you should introduce yourself first.
Hervey! I knew it was you. What are you doing here?
I came to see you. Oh, my little canary, it's been so long.
Thank you for saving him and sparing him.
Who is he?
Hervey, one of many clients from my employment beyond the wall.
One of many clients? We spoke every night of our plans together. Whispered songs of love into each other's ears. And then you upped and vanished without so much as a word.
I left you a note, didn't I? I told you I was sorry, but that we could never be together. That I could never abandon my family. And I told you not to look for me. How did you even find this place, anyway?
The flame of your love was as a beacon in the night that guided me to you.
Hervey.
I was walking by the coast near Northreach when I saw a lady who looked like you. Eyes like the ocean. Hair like the driven snow. The next moment, she and her companions were jumping in a skiff and sailing out towards the wave. So I, borrowed the nearest boat and started rowing.
It must have been Shula bringing us here. So what? You rowed, found a knows how many leagues across the bay, simply because you saw a woman with white hair.
And as I did, the skies changed from a dull and hopeless grey to a bright and benevolent blue. That was when I knew for certain that my little canary was close.
Oh, why did you come? You should have forgotten me, as I tried to forget you. I cannot leave my people, Hervey. And now that you know about this place, neither can you. We must return to Haven and accept my family's judgment.
I'm to meet your family. Oh, my little canary.
Please, come and see me later. You did as I asked, and you must be rewarded for it. But first, follow me, Hervey.
To the end of the world and beyond.
Well, he didn't seem too much like a pervert.
To think we were being followed. It's just lucky it was by someone harmless. At least.
Forgive me.
There's nothing to forgive. You two met at the Vale, I take it.
When I worked there, yes. To earn the coin that my people need to survive. Though Mysidia is our sanctuary, there are certain necessities that it cannot provide. And for that reason, some of us seek employment beyond the wall. Yet few are the opportunities for followers of a strange faith in a strange land.
And so you supported your family as best you could?
I did. And I have never regretted it for a moment. I found a second family in the Vale. And in the Dame, a second mother. I also found Hervey. But our love could never be. I knew that if I revealed my secret to him, I would be putting my people in danger. But that if I did not, I would be living a lie, unable to return home.
What will happen to him now?
Since our people settled in Mysidia, uninvited visitors have been few and far between, but not unknown. Explorers, survivors of shipwrecks, none lasted long.
I see.
But the last was long ago. Hervé's fate is in Shula's hands now. I only hope that she can be convinced to spare him.
Well, I haven't known Shula long. I don't believe she'd sacrifice a man's life if there were any alternative.
No, she wouldn't. Come what may, I thank you, my lord, for all you've done. For both of us.
Okay, so another level up now, 104. We're almost at max level, 110 I think now since the update. And these side missions are really making it nice and easy to level up. So let's see what the next side quest is. So the next one we're going to do is Reign of Pain, which appears after we've just completed that last one.
I think I might have found a way to break Talor's curse.
Go on.
Well, after listening to the village elders and scouring every likely-looking tome in the library, I learned that not all Tombries are the same little green menaces we know and loathe. Apparently, a chosen few live to incredible ages and grow to many times the size of their counterparts. The folktales hold that it's the very eldest of these, the Tombury kings, who weave the curses, and that their magics bind their victims to them, that they might continue to feed on their pain.
So if we slay the one that cast the curse, the feeding will cease.
But that was my thinking, yes. Though I doubt it'll be easy. These kings are not just bigger, they're stronger too. And if the tales are true, their followers will defend them to the death. It is a perilous proposition, in short, but it may also be Talor's only hope. What say you?
I'll do it. Even if killing this king doesn't break the curse, Mysidia will be a safer place for its removal.
Thank you.
So then, where will I find it?
That, alas, I do not know. It must have woven the curse at the altar in Father's Fell, but as to where it is now...
Fanet! You were the one asking about Tonburies, right? Because there's a whole bloody army of them out on the cloak!
What? But why would they stray so far? And why now?
There's only one way to find out. I'll head up the mountain and see what's going on.
Right. Thank you. And please, be careful.
Okay, so we are going to head just outside of the Haven gates for this one.
They're almost at the gate, but they won't be coming any closer.
So we need to take out these Tomburies first.
Nice try. It's over. That should buy Haven some time at least.
Clive, are you all right?
Fine. We've taken care of the immediate threat.
Thank the tides. I was worried I was going to lose you both. Talor, he took a sudden turn for the worse just after you left.
What? Is he?
No, he's hanging on. I fear the Tombury King may have begun the cursing ritual again. In earnest this time. And I can't imagine their being here as a coincidence. I think it might be happening on this very mountain.
If it is, it won't be for long. Get back to Talor. I'm going up.
My thanks. I shall pray for both of you.
Okay, so we're going to head up further and hopefully take on the Tombury King. Okay, so on the way up you will fight lots of pockets of Tomburys.
But we'll have to take care of his followers first.
Just little groups of them until you get to this bigger group, which you are required to slay.
That's a lot of Tomburys.
It's a lot of Tomburys. So we'll do what we can to deal a lot of damage to many of them at the same time.
Looks like that's the last of them. Out here, anyway. But beastmen do like dark places.
Here we go then. So are we going to meet the Tombury King?
Well, I'll be damned.
Has he got a crown? Oh, he has. I think he's got a crown. Ha 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 ha! Brilliant. Let's go.
There's a crown. Sorry, Your Majesty, but your reign ends here.
Ooh, he's fast. Let's get rid of some of these. Just before they kind of do a hell of a lot of damage to me. Oof. That was a big move, everyone's grudge. Should get him staggered here. Lovely. We're not going to pull off any big moves at this rate, by the looks of it. We might just get Tsunami in. We're going to get rid of these using Abyssal Tear. Oh god, he's summoning loads of them in here. That's a big old knife, that bad boy. He's halfway there, he's halfway. Oof, another cheeky parry there. Let's go, another Tsunami. I think this dude puts all other Tombury Kings to shame. Oof, 22,000. Nice. Oh, I wasted it. Oh god. They'd have killed me then. What a crazy ass fight this is. I saw that coming, Tombury King. God, this dude is quick. Awesome fight. Caught me. Let's finish him off with a Judgment Bolt, hopefully. Not quite. He's holding on. And there we go. That is the Tombury King defeated. Beautiful. And it was worth 8.7 million experience points. Wow. Awesome. Awesome.
It's done. Which means the curse should be broken. Let's see how Talor's doing.
Clive! Is it done then?
It is. I was going to ask if there had been any change in Talor's condition, but judging by that smile on your face, I think I already know the answer.
You do? Talor! He's back!
Thank you, my lord. I can never repay you for everything you've done for me. I owe you my life.
I'm just glad the curse is lifted. There is one thing I'd like to know, though. If you don't mind my asking. What made you seek the Tombury's help in the first place?
Oh, that... well, you deserve to know. It was years ago now, back in my trading days. The Sons of Greek arrested me in Oriflamme, chained me up in a lightless cell with a great sword hung over my head, ready to fall if I didn't confess. Though they never said to what. I didn't, of course. So eventually they just let me go. And I never told a soul. Tried to forget it ever happened. But then you came along and the sight of your sword brought it all flooding back. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't hardly breathe, and I thought that if I gave my old chain to the Tomburys, maybe they could take all that pain away. All that anger. But it only made it worse.
Oriflamme has fallen. And the men who tortured you likely fell with it.
If only I'd known, I might have spared everyone a lot of trouble. I'd convinced myself that you were like them, that all outsiders were the same, but you're not. Far from it. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Clive, there's something I need to tell you. After we parted ways on the path to the cloak, I went straight back to Talor and explained to him what you were doing on his behalf. And just like that, his pain began to fade.
What do you mean? Just like that? The Tombury King would have still been alive. I had to contend with dozens of his minions before I found him.
Then perhaps one of them warned him of your coming and he broke off his ritual. Or perhaps knowing that an outsider was fighting for him was what lifted the weight from Talor's heart. I know from experience that many illnesses are not wholly physical, but of the spirit, at least in part.
Was there ever really a curse then? Or was Talor simply suffering from the pain of his memories? And the guilt of what he'd done? For all the difference it makes. I suppose we'll never know.
Maybe not. But this much I do know. It was your strength and your selflessness that healed his heart in the end.
I'll be sure to tell my healer friend when I get home.
And that is a Reign of Pain complete. Some huge experience points for that mission. We are now level 106. So our next mission is here, Lost in the Woods. And we have to talk to this child.
Please, mister, you've got to help us. The village is in danger, and if someone doesn't do something... you should have seen it.
Stop. Take a deep breath and tell me everything. Starting with your name.
Sorry, my name's Eirik. When you went up to the Erevalvers with Miss Shula, I followed you.
You could have been killed.
Lady Shula told us you lot were great warriors. so I thought I'd be alright if I stayed close like. But then I lost track of you in the woods, and that's when I saw it.
Saw what?
A great big, dripping, drooling monster. Spitting out great spouts of water it was, that were tearing up the ground and cutting down trees.
Spouts of water. I don't recall seeing anything like that in the forest.
Well, I did, and I don't ever want to see it again. You'll get rid of it, won't you?
All right. If this creature is as terrible as you claim, it could well pose a threat to the village. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, mister. It was over by the Swift one that I saw it. Maybe it's still there.
Then that's where I'll start my search. But this time, you're going to stay here. Understood?
I wouldn't go through those gates for 1,000 gil. Not with that thing out there. Good luck, though.
Okay, so let's see where we've got to go. Up to this area, so we're okay actually. We can fast travel to the obelisk. And let's see what's going on.
Is that the hunter?
It's you. Nasef's savior.
Are you all right? What happened?
I was tracking an ibex when a great spout of water struck me square in the back. Sent me flying all the way across the clearing.
Did you see what made it?
No. All I heard was a noise. An ear-splitting din.
Might this be the culprit?
Awesome. An adamantoise.
You've caused enough trouble.
And I think I've even got the wrong icons on. So I can't actually change. I'm going to have to stick with what I've got here, guys. And that's just because I was trying to do the Garuda trophy guide. So I've got stuck with what I've got here. Shouldn't be too bad. It's taking a fair bit of damage straight away, to be fair. Oh God. So am I. So we're not too. Oh, we can't attack it from the back, just like all the rest of the adamantoises. We've got it staggered. So unfortunately, because I was just using Garuda for a trophy guide, I am stuck with those three abilities. It's okay though. The damage is coming off pretty swiftly. We're just going to make sure that we are hanging around the front of him. And he's staggered again. He'll die very quickly now. And there we go. And he was only worth 348,000 experience points, so not a big fight.
Well, that wasn't too bad. Hardly a threat to the village, but you can't blame the boy for being scared.
You're going to tell me that wasn't the actual one?
You made that look a lot easier than it was.
Do you think that was the beast which attacked you?
That thing? Not a chance. Would have heard it coming a league away. And the blast of water that hit me was beyond anything an Archelon can manage.
Oh. A boy from the village sent me in search of a beast that could conjure such things, but...
That's it. That's the noise I heard. Sounded like it came from the ruins.
I'll go. You head back to Haven and see a healer.
Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit further up to the sunken ruins.
What do we have here? Found her. Something's been busy. Whatever this creature is, it's out for blood. But it's not having ours. Stay close, Torgal. Where are you?
Okay, let's see what we've got going on. Thalos.
Another fragment of Walius's rage. I should have known. Time to put you to bed too. Nice try.
Ooh. Okay. Just some big moves. Actually doing a lot of damage to me pretty quickly, to be fair. So let's think about doing some damage to this bad boy now. Or at least trying to get it staggered. Oh. Eesh, there's some naughty moves. Right, let's do a bit of permafrost. Let's just slow this monster down a little bit. Got a fair bit of health, I think. And like I said, doing some fair attacks. Some of the attacks are quite easy to avoid. I think the waves aren't so easy. We've almost got him staggered. Now once we've got the stag out, we are going to unleash some moves. Oh, we're going to try and get away from this. I think that's going to be a fair old move. Nice, so we've got the stagger. Let's do tsunami. Stick a lightning rod in. Judgment bolt. Ooh, nice, 20,000 a cross swell. 15,000 with the cross swell as well. Nice, good bit of damage there. And then we'll hit a vent as well. The abyssal tear. We're doing some serious damage now. Just going to keep avoiding that move best we can. It doesn't do that much damage. I do love permafrost. It's a cracking move. Even frostbite does a good moment of freeze. We're almost there now. Set a judgment bolt. I'm not sure what's going to happen first, the death or the stagger. Miss my crosswell.
Nice try. Too slow.
Oh, and it was the stagger. And there we go. We have beaten him. And it was worth 8.7 million. Amazing.
Fingers crossed that's the last of them. Either way, I should let Eirik know the danger is past. For now, at least.
You're back!
So? Did you find the fiend that attacked me and young Eirik here?
I did. It won't be troubling you anymore.
Yes! I knew you'd get it.
Only because you warned me of its existence. Not that you should ever have learned of its existence, but all's well that ends well, I suppose.
What was it, anyway?
A manifestation of Leviathan's power. When we visited Wallius in the Surge, he was angry and afraid. The Icon summoned these creatures for his protection. Though why one would be wandering the ruins of Riversmeet, I don't know.
Maybe it was looking for his mum. That's where she died, isn't it? The Falls.
The Falls?
Aye. When they took her baby, she threw herself off the top. We go there once a year to pay our respects. The whole village.
An Eggy is a part of its master's spirit, but Wallius wouldn't have been aware of what had happened to his mother, would he?
Well, either way, you did us a favor putting that thing to rest. Us and Wallius. Thank you.
Aye. Thanks, mister.
Very quickly, we have leveled up to 108. Very, very quickly. Beautiful. Another 5.5 million. Okay, so I presume this is our last mission. I can't be 100% sure. I've lost count. But there is only 10. And this one's called Last Licks.
You wouldn't happen to have some time on your hands, would you, Clive? Only I was wondering if you might help me with something else.
Don't tell me. Another unruly dominant.
Not quite, but a dangerous foe nonetheless. It promises to be quite a hunt. Care to join me?
All right. Tell me about our quarry.
A fiendish, cold-blooded beast known as a Givra. Normally, we leave such animals well alone, and for good reason. But I have an even better reason to want its tongue.
Its tongue?
If you'll permit me, tributary, I can explain.
Certainly, Yamila.
It's been over a week since my sister gave birth to her first child, yet she still isn't back on her feet. We've tried everything to restore her spirits. Physics and nostrums, the laying on of hands and of leeches, but all to no avail. The healers tell me there's only one hope left. A broth as potent as its ingredients are perilous to procure.
It isn't only Yamila's sister who stands to benefit from this, by the way. There's her baby to think of. And Wallius, too. She'd agreed to be his wet nurse, you see.
I'd be glad to help.
Thank you. Our hunters have no shortage of skill, but this task calls for more than that. And it won't be achieved through weight of numbers either. The Givra is as wary a foe as it is a deadly one. 2 hunters might catch it unawares, but any more than that, and it would pick up our scent a league away.
Then it is decided. The 2 of you will go, while Jill and I occupy ourselves here.
Perhaps we might help prepare the broth.
That would be most kind of you.
Come then, Clive. The river of time flows fast, and so must we. There's a Givra that has claimed the ruins at the foot of the mountain as its hunting ground. But as I say, they are wary creatures. We'll need suitable bait to draw it out. The flesh of a forest ibex should suffice.
To the forest, then.
There's no...
Okay, so we're going to head out this way first.
A Givra loves more than a fat haunch of ibex.
There speaks the... Voice of experience. You hunt often?
Since I was a girl, my father would take me. Then after he returned to the sea, Yamila's father. Our families have always been close. Even if her sister wasn't Walius's wet nurse, I couldn't stand by and watch her suffer. These will do nicely.
I really can't think these are going to be too hard. There we go. Nice and easy.
Return to the sea, and to the clouds rise again.
We have our bait then. What next?
Next, we pay a visit to the Dark Gate to pick some local weed. It'll help disguise our scent.
Okay, so we're just going to go a little bit further up here.
There should be a sprig or two of local weed growing somewhere around here. Look for the golden leaves.
Is this it?
Aye, that's the stuff. Crush the leaves between your fingertips and rub them on your clothes.
If you insist. You could have warned me about the smell.
Like corruption, isn't it? We'll have an honor guard of flies before long. But it'll stop the Givra from noticing us. Its nose will tell it we're nothing but a feast for worms.
Oh, I feel so much better.
We can wash it off afterwards. If there's one good thing about the Givra choosing the ruins for its hunting ground, it's that there's plenty of fresh water nearby.
Okay, so we are going to continue heading down here. Okay, so we're going to go and lay some bait out.
Marking its territory.
Something was. A curl, maybe.
So we can go here.
Tracks. But I assume they're too small to belong to a Givra.
You're right. They're barely big enough to belong to a Givra's breakfast.
Oh, this is going to be a lovely creature, isn't it?
A fresh kill.
But not a Givra's.
The wounds are too clean, too small.
These look like a predator's tracks. You can clearly make out the claws.
And not just any claws. These belonged to a Givra. There's no mistaking them. We'll lay the bait here.
Let's hope our friend is hungry. Still no sign.
Patience, Clive. Hunting's not something you can rush.
Have you stalked these beasts before?
Once. Givras are fast, so the job called for a bearer. But even with my knack, it was a close-run thing.
Not many leaders would take such risks for their people.
Says the man who battled an icon to save a boy he barely knew. It is the way of the moats of water to use what gifts we've been given for the good of all. And I gather it's your way too.
It was Sid, the man whose name I bear. He fought for his people and their future with every fiber of his being. I'm just following in his footsteps. In many ways, you remind me of him.
Me? You're confusing daring with desperation. Quiet. Something's coming. Our guest has finally arrived.
Shall we greet him?
It'd be rude not to.
Rude not to. Let's go.
Don't let it escape.
Too slow. Nice try.
Well, this fight's not too bad at the moment. A lot of life though, a lot of health. So we can get that stagger before we do our big moves. We're almost there for the stagger. Use everything we've got here, because why not? and go into limit break mode. 160,000 damage.
Nice try.
Just constantly attack though.
Too slow. Nice try. Too slow.
I don't even think we're going to get another stagger on him before he's dead, so we might as well use what we've got here. We're not going to be far off killing him. There we go. Nice and easy, to be fair. And it was only worth 750,000 XP as well, so not too bad.
You weren't exaggerating when you said they were dangerous.
They're forces of nature, all right. And with this one's passing, the river of life has calmed. O roaring torrent, son of storms, may your spirit run free in the open ocean. This flesh I claim, that your gifts might rain down upon us this day, and our river flow in spate once more. Well then, let's return to the village. We must get this tongue to Ymilla before it spoils.
Tributary, my lord. Did all proceed as planned?
It did. Here. One Geaver tongue, as promised.
Oh, thank you. I shall add it to the broth at once. By your leave, tributary.
If there is anything else that we can do to help, you need only ask.
No, no. You've already done more for my family than I can ever repay.
Just as you have, Clive, for my family. I only regret that I have nothing to offer you in return but my gratitude.
It's more than enough. Besides, I'm no less grateful to you.
For what?
For welcoming my friends and I into your midst. For showing us how your people live. For reminding me that the world we strive to create, where bearers can live alongside their fellow men in peace and comfort, is no mere fantasy.
I'd hardly call it comfort. Every day is a struggle. Though we do at least struggle together, it's true.
As must we all. I only ask that you remember the cost of using your gifts as a bearer. I know that you feel it's your duty to do whatever you can to help your people. But you have a child to think about now. And Wallis has lost enough.
I shall bear that in mind.
That's all I ask. Oh, and if there is anything else that we can do to help, well, you know.
Thank you. Truly.
Okay, and with that, we get the reflection of darkness. And the trophy, the end can wait. So that is it. That is all 10 missions, or complete 10 missions, should I say. Because it looks like there is another mission there in the village. The Water of Life. But do you know what? I don't need to do that now. I am back to 100% trophies on Final Fantasy 16. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thank you very much for being here with me. And I will catch you next time for another video. Take care. Bye bye.